Hello, everyone. Hello. I am a little late. Wow, so many of you are already here. Oh my goodness, hello. Wow, Victoria and Dion, Darina, Crystal, Franca, Christy. Oh my goodness, everyone. Tammy, Danny, you guys are already having a party here. I just love it. We had a little trouble joining here. So hello, everyone. So you already know the drill. You introduce yourself and wow, I am just so thrilled to be here. And of course, you know what happens when the Wow Woman is here. There's so much action. There's so much party going on, and in a good way, in a sacred way. We're going to talk. Oh my gosh, I have such a presentation prepared for you. It's going to blow your mind. I'm just like so thrilled to be here with you, and I'm honored that you said yes to join me on this fabulous training. So continue to say hello, everyone. Oh, darlings. Oh my gosh. I've been so emotional. I was just finishing up. I have my goddess back there, and I have my flowers back there, and I have my feather earrings, and it's all good. I really want to start because I have a lot to cover today. And hello, darling. Hello, Elena. And there's such magic going on everywhere today. As you know, it's a powerful day. So we're going to dive in, and we're going to talk about so many things. Be prepared to just really open your heart. And yes, hello, Pam. Hello, Jennifer. I'm going to put this slideshow. I took a lot of time to prepare this. So I really trust that you enjoy it. And I'm going to be here with you. So I'm not going anywhere. How about we begin, shall we? Let's do this together. I'm really excited to be here with all of you in this amazing live masterclass where I share some of the secrets and principles that I've learned over the last 20 years of being on this empowered woman journey and helping hundreds of women create their life and business that has them wake up in the morning feeling loved, worthy, and on purpose, aligned with their truth, being able to feel joyful about that they're contributing to the world with their gifts, right? Experiencing that sense of clarity and vision about what's next in their lives, and feeling absolutely confident that they can be, do, and have everything their heart desires. And this life, darling, is meant to be yours. And on today's masterclass, I'll share with you how you can have it too. Are you ready? So let me just pause for a minute, and I'm going to change the slides, just getting used to this right now. All right, we got it. Today, I'm going to teach you exactly what you need in order to awaken your wild woman within, so you can feel empowered and thrive in business, own your value, feel truly worthy of making great money doing what you love, and create success that is in alignment with who you are on your terms. How does that sound to you, ladies? Right? So good. I just want to continue to see you there. Carrie is here. Shannon is here. Rhiannon is here. Solange. Oh my gosh. Like so many, like seriously, I'm blown away. There's so many women tuning in, hundreds right now tuning in from around the world. So let's do this. And here's the thing. Let me be really honest with you right now from the start. As you know me about me, this sounds really sexy and exciting, and I want you to know that is one of the deepest, most powerful and sacred journeys you can allow yourself to experience as a woman. This is not your average masterclass, in case you didn't know. This is going to be really juicy, and simply by being here, you're going to experience a powerful activation. So I'm going to ask you to be fully present all throughout this training, okay? And this is not the time to respond to emails while you're listening to me, or buying that book that you've forgotten about on Amazon, or organizing your drawer. And I really mean it. I can almost see you through the computer, okay? Make sure to shut up all of your browsers, your ringers, and any distractions that may come up. I highly invite you to be fully present. This is for you, darling, for you. You made it here, and that means that you are ready for more. Yes? So write in the comments, ready for more. Let me read you. Let me read you. You are ready for more. That's right. That is right. Yes, that's what it takes to be here, to be fully present. Yes, 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 yes. Ready for more. There you are. All right, so let's continue. Here's the thing though. What I'm about to share with you will shift everything. Only if you allow yourself to receive it. So I seriously, I wish that someone would have taught me this, what I'm about to teach you, way earlier in my career, in my life. I promise no one has ever showed you this way of looking at your business and money and the masculine like I'm about to do now. It's going to save you so much time and so much money and struggle, pain, and all that bad stuff. Okay, so I really mean it. So make sure to take notes and also make sure to stay until the end as well. I have a very special gift for you towards the end that you're not going to want to miss. And I also love to ask you to interact, which you're already so good at anyway. I didn't even have to ask. I love for you to be brave and share with me what comes up for you all throughout, your ahas, your realizations. Share with me on the chat. I really want to read you. Okay? So let's take a breath together. Be prepared to feel your heart open up in a new way today. Be prepared to experience yourself in a whole new way today. And be prepared to receive at a bigger and grander level than ever before. And so it is. Can you feel the energy right now? Yes, we are ready, ladies. We are ready to do this. So I received a download of this quote, and I feel that it's very appropriate for us to actually chat about this here. Oh my gosh, ladies, you're making me so emotional in an amazing way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Danielle says, can this work for network marketing? Absolutely, darling. This works for anything in your business and life. Keep going, and we'll talk more about that. A woman in survival doesn't serve the world. A woman in her feminine power heals it. I want you to feel this for a moment. A woman in survival doesn't serve the world. What do I mean by this? A woman who's apologizing, who doesn't feel good about herself, who's constantly doubting, who doesn't trust herself. That's a woman in survival. A woman who feels like she has to ask for permission or approval constantly, that she can't take care of herself because she feels that something's going to happen to somebody else, who doesn't ask because she feels like a burden. That is survival. And a woman, when we are there in that state, we're going to talk a lot more about this. We don't serve the world, ladies. Only when we are confident, when we feel worthy from within, when we don't need that permission from approval or the approval from outside, when we are tapped into our truth and we're aligned and we feel abundant, this is where we can actually heal the world. Do you agree with this? Really? I want you to put that on the comments. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me just change the slide for a minute. I'm getting used to this slide thing. These masterclass is for you. If you really like the smart loving, I know you're smart, I know you're loving, and I know you're super conscious because you wouldn't be here, who wants to wake up feeling confident, inspired, and passionate about what you do. You're living a life of purpose and who feels more like work feels more play than actually true work. So you're not second guessing yourself. You're not feeling insecure about your message. You're not afraid that others are not going to get it and no one would ever want to work with you, right? This training is for you if you are ready, okay? To feel that you can trust your internal guidance with peace, because everything will work out and you're not trying to control it all. So you experience this sense of ease and peace within you, where you don't feel the need to push or rush anything. You drop the fight and you trust yourself and others. You really allow yourself to receive without needing to work hard for everything that you want. Okay, so I love for you to share if this is resonating with you, and if it is, agree. Okay, super. Wow, there's so many of you ladies. I love it. This masterclass is also for you if you are ready to allow yourself to fully enjoy the abundance of money and time that life has to offer you, because you're worthy and you're not feeling guilty for it. My goodness, this brings that sense of true freedom from within, where you don't make yourself wrong or play small or conform with little anymore. Instead, you have plenty of resources and energy to do everything you desire, and you allow yourself to go for your biggest dreams. This also is for you if you're ready to have that clear vision and choosing to follow your path without asking for permission from others, overthinking, self-sabotaging, or worrying too much. Okay? I think you know the drill. Yes. Okay. I love that. I know, right? Is this resonating so far? This masterclass is also for you if you are ready to live life and run your business from a state of abundance, joy, and love, where you trust at the core that there's more than enough money for everything that you desire, and that you truly believe that money is an unlimited source. Okay? Also, this masterclass is for you if you're ready. Check this out. If you're ready to manifesting clients and money with ease and fun, because you know it comes from your magnetizing energy. So you don't need to prove your worth or value. Know that. You show up in your business every day feeling fully confident, present, and people naturally feel drawn to work with you. Manifesting clients and money is a natural process of your magnetic and vibrant energy. You're gonna love what I have to share for you. Does that sound good? Does it sound exciting? All right, let's do this. So you know what? This is your time. And I know you probably, if you know me already, you know that I keep saying this. This is your time, darling. And I am so glad that you've decided to join me on this amazing masterclass, because today I'm going to ask you to be really courageous as we immerse ourselves into allowing the wild woman to come out. Are you ready for more in your life? This is why you need your wild woman. So I want to see the yeses in the chat box. The more you say yes to yourself, the more you will open up and you start shifting this energy within you. So show me the yeses in the comments, in the chat. Here's the thing. We learned that in order to be successful in business, we need to have a thick skin so others don't take advantage of us, right? Who felt that way? That we need to hustle, no pain, no gain. Now, this is huge because what we learned about business came from the masculine. And if you're like me, you probably felt that as a woman, your only choice to make any kind of money or to experience any kind of success was to be this way, from the masculine, which for most of us, it doesn't really feel good. It doesn't feel right. Because here's what I learned as an entrepreneur. In order to be successful in business, we need both. We need the feminine and the masculine. If we don't honor the feminine energy in business, you can still have success, but it's going to come with a big price, at a big price. Okay? And you won't be able to enjoy it. You won't feel successful. We're going to talk more about that. I really want you to pay attention to my words right now. That's why I was asking you to be really present, because a lot is going to start sinking in even at an unconscious level when you're present. So I really want you to be here engaged with me. Okay? And I'm going to use my Wonder Woman glass. So this is what's going to happen if you don't include your feminine as a woman in your business. You'll run yourself to the ground, feel easily overwhelmed, low energy, You'll have little to no time for your family and friends. You'll be pushing and you feel blocked creatively. No one talks about it. No one talks about that you're blocked creatively, and so ideas cannot come through. Your health would suffer due to the lack of joy and the pushing and forcing energy. So you'll end up sabotaging success if it's not aligned with your truth. This is what happens. And you're going to work really, really, really hard for money. It just doesn't work. Can you feel that that's not a recipe for true success? There is another way, and this is why we're here. We'll explore this deeper in a little bit. I'm really glad that you're here. Are you ready? Let me see you on the chat box. Let me see you that you are absolutely ready for this transformation today. I have to learn to use the masculine. Good, we're gonna talk about that today too. Wow, yes, my life always chaotic, busy. Yes, this is what happens. All right, I love it. I love reading you, all of you, so many of you. Welcome Sylvia and Pam and Veronica. This is amazing. Chastity, yes, ready. I love to see you. I really want you to be engaged, okay? Now, let me ask you. Let's see if this sounds like you. And I want you to be honest. This is time to be honest right now, okay? Do you feel stuck in feeling that you have to prove your worth first in order for others to hire you or pay you for your services instead of believing that you are already worth it? You feel that you're doing everything right, checking all the boxes, and still not experiencing the results that you truly want. Okay? I want you to breathe this for a moment. Really breathe this. This is so powerful. Okay, let me change the slide. Does this sound like you? Stuck in people pleasing, putting everyone else first, only to end up exhausted and overwhelmed and feeling like you can't move forward. Does it sound like you? You have a hard time trusting yourself and waiting for approval or permission from others before taking the next step. Yeah? Okay. Last but not least, this sounds like you, and you feel like you're stuck in like thinking that you can't make great money doing what you love. So you choose to settle for less than you deserve. Don't we do that sometimes as women? I remember many times I've done that. Or you're stopping yourself from setting money goals for fear that it won't actually happen and you'll end up disappointed. So you dream small, like kind of like, why bother, right? We need to end this. We really, really, really need to end this. And I get it, because of course, how are you not going to feel disappointed and frustrated? Right? You've tried many different approaches, but you still feel stuck in the same cycle and you can't seem to move forward. I totally get it. And I've been there myself, feeling like you've tried everything. You've read the books. Who did this? Attending the workshops, trying doing the affirmations and the law of attraction, being very diligent, because your good girl is very diligent. You've hired the coaches. You've done the healing work, and nothing seems to be really changing at the core for you. Or perhaps you're ready to go to your next level and you feel stuck, like there's no clear path, and you want that guidance for your next step, but because you're not really sure how to move forward, and you want that with ease and without the hustle. So if that's everything that you want, then you are in the right place. And on this masterclass, I am going to share with you how these can actually be absolutely possible for you, how you can detach from feeling that sense of anxiety and pressure. And at the same time, how you can stop those annoying inner voices that continuously want to convince you that it's for others and not for you. So how would that sound? I want you to be done with those little voices. I call it the gremlins. So no more voices. I want you to write that on the chat box. No more voices. No more giving your power away to those freaking voices starting today. Yes? Do we have a deal? Let me read you in the comments. Yes. No more voices. That's true. That's it, okay? You don't need to be stuck and you don't need to believe in these voices. It's time for you to set yourself free. And this is what we're gonna do this. Here's the thing, the problem is not feeling disappointed. The problem is that you never learned that there is a way to be successful and have what you want by being you. Really. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need in order to create that in your life today. All right? So, because here's the thing. No one, it's not your fault. No one has taught you how to be a powerful woman and consistently access your unlimited source of abundance, which is your feminine power. We're going to tap on that today. All right? All right. So, well, first of all, for those of you who don't know me, here we go. I am a women's empowerment coach, a healer, and a visionary leader with more than 10 years of experience in the coaching industry. I'm the creator of the Empowered Woman Archetype System, which I can't wait to share, which is a roadmap to guide you back to your truth so you can feel empowered and free to be you unapologetically. I'm getting a little comfy here. I also help hundreds of women entrepreneurs from around the world gain confidence and claim their feminine power in business so they can be aligned with their true purpose and create success on their terms. Oh my gosh, how does that sound to you? And you know, I feel so very blessed that I traveled around the world working with clients in private intensives, retreats. I had TV appearances and speaking engagements. It's a good life, ladies. When you really dare to apply the principles that I'm going to share with you, you become truly unstoppable. And I'm just so thrilled to share this with you. Okay. But here's how, you know, here's where my sense of business came through. This is my dad. And I started when I was about 12. I would spend my afternoons after school helping my dad at his lingerie store. Okay. And, you know, I think I've been an entrepreneur at heart, even though I learned in my country, my culture, that women could only do hobbies or work for somebody else as an assistant. I really didn't know that you could actually, be an entrepreneur, successful. Like that was not even in my radar. That's not what in my macho culture in Argentina, actually, I realized. And by the way, yes, I'm originally from Argentina. I forgot to mention that. So in Argentina, I started my first entrepreneurial project started with my interior design project. And it was 1999. And I even got published in a magazine. So you can see right here. It's super fun. But then 3 months after I decided to do that, my ex-husband, my husband at the time, he walked out one day and said, you know what, like, I just don't love you anymore. And there goes with my ex-husband, it went my entrepreneurial project because I had to find a job to sustain myself. How many of you have felt that way or have been in that situation? Then at some point I went to India and I came back and I became really aware of eating healthy and putting good foods and good energy in your bodies. And I remember when I came back, I was totally down. You know, Argentina is a country of steak and meat, right? I was totally down with giving up meat for tofu, but I was not ready to give up my cookies. And I remember going to the health food stores and, you know, it was really funny because I just couldn't find any yummy cookies. So I said, you know what? I love baking. Let me figure it out. Let me see if I can create a fun recipe. And I did. And it was so successful. My friends and my family loved it. And I said, well, why not? If I see that there's a potential in the market, well, I started to sell it in the main health food stores in Buenos Aires. And what happened is that Argentina went into this economic crisis, huge, and there were my cookies too. So because it was so, you know, so intense, the energy, I moved to the middle of the country in Cordoba. And that's when I started I was really literally trading cookies for food, for vegetables from the gardens. And it wasn't really fun, but that's all I could do because the economy was really bad in Argentina. And right at that time, my sister was already in America. And she said, Paula, like, I'm so homesick. Why don't you come? And I said, I don't have any money. She's like, I'll pay for your plane ticket. And this is what happened, ladies. I was packing up my clothes and everything, and I heard the voice. You know that voice? Today I know that that's the voice of my wild woman who told me, pack everything really well because you're not coming back. And so I arrived to the States with 2 suitcases and no money. Now, fast forward in 2011, I was working at this really amazing spa. I was an esthetician doing facials and helping people to have beautiful skin. And my clients started asking me, what can I eat for my skin? You know, what kind of things I can do? Awesome. I love it. Yeah, I love the oven, right? And so I was, totally excited. So I asked around, and one of my coworkers recommended this holistic nutrition school, which felt really aligned with me. And that's where I found out, not only I learned a lot about nutrition and how to help my clients from the beauty from the inside out, I also realized, wow, like this is like, I learned what coaching was. And as I was going through the process myself, I was like, wow, I did years of therapy. And I'm not saying therapy is bad, but for me, wow, like coaching was really helping me make these changes that I really felt stuck with. Right? So now I'm so excited. And I went to my bosses at the spa and I said, I really want to offer these services. I think that people are going to really benefit, but they weren't willing to offer those services. So I was like, I really need to do this. Like I felt that inner calling, right? And I felt like I really needed to do this. And so I said, well, if the spa is not going to allow me, I just need to figure something out. I need to find a different way. And I remember I went to my acupuncturist and I told her about how passionate I was. I told her my vision and she felt my passion. And she's like, well, why don't you rent a room right here in our office? And I'm like, that's brilliant. Then, you know, people can get to know me and clients and all that stuff. Oh my God, I'm feeling that wild woman heat right now. I need to tie my hair, so bear with me for a second. Woo! We are rocking it, ladies. Anyway, so so I went into this acupuncturist office and I started to work there. And with the little money that I had left, I bought my equipment. And to my surprise, all of my clients from the spa came to work with me. And I started to incorporate new packages and coaching services, and their skin was like getting amazing results. And these women were transforming their lives before my eyes. And I became so passionate. I'm like, this really works. And I wanted more. So this is again, the wild woman, right? Like I wanted more. I needed more. And I started to take more classes, coaching certifications, just really immersing myself. And this is what I found out, that I could actually do this online. So this photo right here is when I was in my little studio, my room that I rented from the acupuncturist office. You good, girl. My wild woman top, right? Yes, super good. And so in 2015, my husband and I moved to LA, and this is when I started my online coaching business. And Rob became the back end guy who had my back and did all the back stuff, which is super good. And of course, I have so many other stories to share, but I will share this. This is what happened, ladies. And I want you to really be like prepared for this. Within the first 6 months, I reached 6 figures in my business. Okay. And with this rapid success, I was blown away. With this rapid success, what happened is that I lost myself in the business. My good girl took over my business. I want you to hear this. I hear a lot of women who lose themselves in relationships, right? And this is why everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to make so much sense for you. So my good girl took over. All right. And what did that mean? That I started following all the rules, right? Like being the A student, right? Do you know what I mean? Following the rules and doing everything right. And I was getting the result, but something inside didn't really feel good with me. Does that make sense? Now, I was pushing. I was working really hard. I was hustling. This is what I was learning. I was taking all these programs, and it's not that they're bad because they use a lot of masculine energy. If any of you here have taken one of those courses, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I was pushing, I was forcing, and I quickly started to feel exhausted and depleted and snappy and angry. I couldn't find my way. I really could not find my way. And this is what happens. My good girl went into overdrive. She was comparing herself, like she was holding everything so tight and so together. She was like, wanted to make sure to succeed. Now that I succeeded, now I had the pressure to not let it fall down. Oh my gosh, what would happen if? Do you know what I'm talking about when your good girl takes over and she's like in control freak mode and making sure everything's happy? So that's why I was angry and I was snappy, because the internal pressure that I was putting on myself to continue to build success and continue to do everything right and follow all the rules was eating me alive inside. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I can feel it. I can feel it because I remember I was full of anxiety. No one knew. You know what I mean? No one knew. I was the one, like when I would go to bed, my husband knew because I was like a crazy person. I was a crazy woman. You couldn't even talk to me. I was so like snappy and everything. I was just full of fear, and this level, whatever I was experiencing didn't feel right to me, and I didn't see any other way. Does that make sense? So I was pushing and working hard and forcing things to happen, and I quickly started. Oh, I already read that. I'm sorry. I wasn't listening to my heart and what I truly wanted. I was creating the business in a way that I was told that I needed to create it, and not in a way that felt good to me. Do you understand that difference? Right? Yes, in the comments below if you understand that difference. Because one thing is to do it your way, and another thing is doing everything right, but it's not feeling good to you. So that's why success is not happening. So that's why things are not working out in your business, because you're not aligned with your truth. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. So my body started to break down. I started to get sick. Remember what I was sharing before? My marriage was was falling apart, and I started to resent my business. And when that happened, I knew that something needed to change, because I'm like, why am I even doing this? This freedom-based lifestyle that I so wanted, why don't I go back to my little room in Manhattan and work with my clients? I was fine there. I was doing well. Why did I have to ask for more? Why did I have to do that? That's what happens, ladies. That's what happens. Here's the thing. Your wild woman would always ask you for more. And I'm going to tell you that in a minute. Oh my gosh, I'm just feeling so emotional because I can feel your energy right now. Yeah, I just realized that is what's happening, Amy. Yeah, right? You feeling this? Okay. Yeah, I'm not the only one, right? So when that happens, ladies, and the good girl, it's really good at making things making everything pretty. Okay, she's really good because now she opened her big mouth. And you have an example because I had to change this masterclass, and you know that. Okay, so what happened was that I was a mess at the time. Okay, and I felt so conflicted. Now I knew that something needed to change. And this is why I love my good girl so much, because she doesn't give up. The good girl is resilient, and she's very smart and very resourceful. All right. And I knew that there had to be a different way. Like after my victim came out full force and I share more about the archetypes, I knew that there's something needed to change, that there's got to be a different way. Why couldn't I be me in my business? Why couldn't I be successful and also be myself? That equation didn't sound right. I wasn't willing to be successful if that didn't feel true to me. Do you find yourself doing that? And probably that's why you're here. Do you know what I'm talking about? And at the time, I was teaching women how to connect with their truth. So I just started to feel that kind of fraud syndrome, right? Like that I was not living my purpose, and that asked me for more. So what happened, I went on a quest, and at some point, you're probably feeling mine too, because I just had a big wave of frustrated emotions come over me. Sharon, I feel you. I so feel you. All right. So my husband, very wisely, and probably because he also needed a break, I mean, it was crazy, took me to this beautiful cabin in Maine. And after 14 hours, okay, just I want you to picture this. Me for 10 days, sleeping for 14 hours in a cabin, I realized that I was running my business solely from the masculine. And that's what led me to total burnout. Do you understand that? Remember I was sharing that at the beginning, how if we not include the feminine in the business, right? Right, the problem is that the feminine doesn't feel safe and no one taught us, and I'm going to teach you in a minute, but that's what I was doing, okay? I was focusing solely on the masculine. And this is where, after creating that space, I mean, I was determined, ladies. My good girl was so determined to figure this out, right? But I didn't have to figure it out. It was in the allowing. It was in the creating that space, which took a lot of courage, because I brought so many books to read to be productive. This is what the good girl that she needed to be productive. There was never a time to enjoy and relax. It was like everything needed to be control and productive. But in this cabin, I let go. For the first time, I surrender. And this is when the next day we went back home to New York and the archetypes were born. So I want to share this because it's really, really powerful. And this is part of the work. So my client, Katie, she is awesome. And she had a really, before working with me, she had a really busy and successful practice. Following the masculine model of success, she felt trapped working endless hours with little to no time for herself or her family. She was tired of feeling frustrated, angry, exhausted, right? Welcome to the club. Not being able to have time for the things that matter the most to her and that made her happy. Katie joined my group program, and she learned how to tune in with her wild woman and started to redefine what success truly meant for her. The result? As a CPA, she thought she had to have an office, but this didn't really feel aligned with her truth. So she closed her office and bought her dream home on a lake, and now she works remotely half the week there. By integrating the feminine in her business, Katie feels more open, creative, and so supported by her team, and she now dedicates time to her passions. So last year she published the first novel, and she's on her way at the second one, and this was one of her dreams that also became a reality. Isn't that amazing? So, all right. So let's talk about these amazing, amazing archetypes, the Empower Woman Archetype System, which is a roadmap to guide you back to your truth and claiming your most unapologetic you. Now, within every one of us, there are 4 main archetypes, okay? The good girl archetype, wild woman archetype, victim archetype, and bitch archetype. You want to learn and deeply connect with your archetypes. You really want to do that. You want to learn their voices and when and why they get activated. This is the biggest gift you can give to yourself, understanding this empowered woman archetype process. Let me explain the archetypes for a minute. Now, here is the thing that I want you to know. This saved my life. These archetypes, because here's what was happening. I was like, okay, so explain to me, I was thinking, so I either have to push and force and be in my masculine, or I have to feel sorry for myself and bad about myself and doubting myself and not feeling worthy. I didn't know how to step into my feminine power. Okay, I had no idea. And so I was swinging from feeling completely in my masculine and push through, make it happen, come on, do it, don't stop crying, or crying and feeling not enough and having low energy and getting sick. It was exhausting. Who's ever been there, right? And so, and Victoria says that, yeah, totally, that she saved herself time too with these archetypes. I'm telling you, they work. So this is my good girl, by the way. And who is the good girl? Your good girl is the part of you who's loving and thoughtful, compassionate. She has the biggest heart on the planet. She's the friend to the end. She's responsible and caring, and she loves to give and make everyone happy. Okay? Now, let's see. The next archetype is your victim archetype. Okay. Your victim is the part of you who falls into overgiving and overdoing. And as a disclaimer, I am not saying like the victim is not like you always have to be like, oh my God. No, the victim is the part of you who feels disappointed and abandoned, who feels like she's doing everything right, who's overgiving and nothing is working, who has poor boundaries, who doesn't trust herself because she's made plenty of mistakes, right? She seeks constant approval because she learned that she's not good enough. She lacks confidence. Okay, she needs validation and permission, and she's scared to move forward because she's constantly doubts herself and her decisions. She feels guilty if she does something that offends others. She thinks that others know better than her, right? She plays small and hides, can't say no, and operates mostly from an energy of sacrifice, lack, fear, and scarcity. Now, here's the thing. We don't even want to look at the victim, especially strong women like you and me, okay? We say, oh my God, get her out of my sight. I want you to listen up. Now, your wow woman, now we're talking. The wow woman is the part of you who holds the torch for your feminine power. She embodies truth, and she's the gatekeeper of your desires. She's honoring, self-honoring. She honors herself, her cycles and rhythms, okay? She's confident and unapologetic about who she is. She's fun and adventurous, plays by her own rules, sexual and sexually alive, daring, bold, courageous. She stands for freedom, and she's a powerful manifester of magic and miracles. And yes, this also includes money because she holds the right to your joy and abundance, okay? Huge. Huge, huge, huge. And now the other archetype, just give me a minute. I got stuck here with my button. The other archetype is the bitch archetype. Is this a good photo or what? The bitch archetype comes out when you are dishonored, okay? When something falls out of alignment with your truth. Okay, here. She doesn't trust others. She's closed off. She puts up a wall and will never show what's truly going on inside. Again, this doesn't mean that you're a bitch yourself. It means that your bitch archetype is activated when we close off, okay? We get critical and judgmental with ourselves and with others. We get harsh and snappy, resentful and angry, and she feels entitled and doesn't ask but demands what she needs, which is a completely harsh energy. And the problem is that she's doing this out of pain too, even if she doesn't show it deep inside, okay? She's good at putting up the mask and pretending she's fine, but she's often feels disconnected and alone. And the reason, and she's also using masculine energy to feel powerful, but it's not sustainable because it goes against our feminine nature. This is why when we as women go a lot into our masculine and don't replenish our feminine energy, we end up running ourselves to the ground, exhausted, snappy. This is the bitch. You see what I mean? And so a lot of us have the bitch really activated, and she comes to save us from feeling powerless, but we end up accessing a power that is not true to our nature. And this is why we need to come back to our feminine nature. And this is why you're here. Okay? Right? Yes. So I'm really proud of all of you who are absolutely owning the fact that your victim and your bitch are here and are activated, okay? Because the first thing is to be aware of this, and no one's teaching this, darlings. I promise you, no one is teaching this. So here's the thing. The empowered state of the feminine are the good girl and the wild woman, okay? You see that? And the disempowered feminine states are the victim and the bitch. The fastest way to recognize your archetypes is by following the emotions that are predominant to each archetype. So when you feel love, your good girl is activated. When you feel free, means that your wild woman is activated. When you feel guilty, it means that your victim is activated. And when you feel anger, it means that your bitch is activated. Now, of course, it's much deeper than this. I don't have all the time right now because I have so much else, so much more to share. But this is to have a quick reference point. This is what's going to help you for right now. Okay. So let's continue. How are we doing? Yeah. Okay. So Amy, if you've been in victim and bitch for years, you're going to want to hear this. I fully honor you for being here. I feel own all of the archetypes, but what does that mean? Why should we be more aware of them and solely bring out the wild woman? Well, listen up, Claire. I have something prepared for you, and it's going to make more sense. Just continue to listen, and I'll share more in a minute. So in order to thrive in business, you need to free your wild woman. And here's why. Collectively, we learned that the feminine to be weak, passive, submissive, keep your mouth shut, be quiet, don't rock the boat, please the masculine. So Claire, this is why. Or in order to be seen, heard, and respected, we have to demand it and act like a man. Most of us didn't receive real examples of what it means to be a powerful feminine woman. Most of us didn't receive any examples at all. Particularly in business, we learned that women are too weak. We let our emotions get in the way. Our periods blurred our head, and we can't think straight. We're unproductive, and we don't have what it takes. And I'm telling you right now, my Sicilian blood, it's boiling like you have no idea. Even though I wrote this, I'm telling you, every time I read it, I feel like, ugh. So the messages came down to, we're not enough, or we're too much, okay? And this collectively has been passed on from generations and generations. And the examples that we witness of power came from domination, greed, control, power over instead of power with. And this created competition, lack, division, force, okay? Scarcity. How would we want that kind of power as women? Certainly not us, because it's so against our feminine nature. Does that make sense? So due to the patriarchal system, the feminine was devalued when before it was revered. So we need to own our value as women. No one can do it for us. And it starts within ourselves, because in this social devalue, we learned that we're not enough, that we need to work twice as hard for what we want, because that's what happens in an imbalanced system. And this is even more evident around money. This imbalanced system took the economic power from women. We're still fighting to get paid equally. We've been learning for generations that women are not supposed to make money, that we are not smart with money, and so many others silly beliefs. And in believing this, we've been denying unconsciously our right to abundance, which is completely connected with our intrinsic nature. I want you to know one thing right now and be very clear with you, okay? And this is my wild woman talking right now. This is what needs to end. We've been carrying this for generations and generations, and it is so ingrained in us. And the only way to stop this is by healing our past wounds, rewiring those old beliefs, and going deep within. going deep within to get in touch with our souls. There's no other way. And that's where it all starts. We need to reconnect and own our femininity, aka our wild woman, if we want to thrive. Okay? A lot of us women are frustrated, confused, and disoriented. The women that came before us who stepped into their power were heavily bashed, judged, and criticized, even killed. And by the way, this is still freaking happening in the world today. I seriously want to put my hair out. The women before us had suffered the consequences. They were burned at the stake. And they were burned in front of every other woman, so we all got the memo. Does that make sense? Some of us figured out that the only way to survive in a men's world was by using our masculine energy and acting like men. But what we didn't know is that this came with a big price, the betrayal of our true feminine nature. This left us sacrificing almost everything: our health, our relationships, our time, intimacy, love, our capacity to receive abundance. I'm not talking about the battle of the sexes here, and I'm not saying that all men are bad. I'm talking about a system that was created to dominate and control, and it actually affected women and men also. And as a side note, by the way, do you know how important this is for our girls and definitely our boys too? All of you brave moms out there, this is essential for you to learn this. Not only to learn it, but to become it, so you can mirror this. You can show that there is a different way and break this cycle. The weak and helpless feminine that needs to be rescued like Cinderella, or the aggressive, ruthless feminine that has no relationship and like the devil wears Prada, are not real examples of what I call an empowered woman, which is a woman in her full feminine power. Is that making sense at all? In order to thrive in business, feel worthy of money and all of your desires, and create success on your terms, your good girl needs to free your wild woman. I want you to hear this. Your good girl needs to free your wild woman. Okay? And there is another way, all right? I have experienced it, a really deep transformation, and this is what I want to share with you today. I want to reassure you that I'm going to put you on a path that will take you to a place where you'll begin to see yourself in a whole new way of being as a woman. And the traps of scarcity, that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you don't deserve the love and the money and the joy, all that stupid disempowering lies about the feminine that we're all caught in. You'll have an opportunity to break free from them and begin a journey to living your most unapologetic life that will be nourishing to you and everyone around you. And what I'm about to show you, I want you to really trust that it served me and hundreds of women who I've been teaching this process that will allow you to create long-term pathway to live life of your dreams, the life that you want on your terms. I can't cover everything here because this is truly deep, and I'm going to cover a lot. So there will be an opportunity for you to take this journey to the next level. And before the call ends, I'll share how to go forward with this and how to take it to the next level. Okay? I want to share those things with you. How does that sound? How does that sound, ladies? Does that sound like a good, fun? Yes, this gives me chills. Oh my gosh, ladies. Wow. Tammy says she's constantly taking notes and she can't chat. I love it. Wow. Sharon, if you have a daughter of 24 and 25, woman, oh my gosh, this work is essential for every single one of us. For first ourselves. All right, so I can't wait to share more. Let's continue. You know what? It all starts with an internal decision. I'm serious. And this yes that comes from the depth of your soul, this inner permission to be yourself fully and unapologetically. Because without this inner yes, your good girl will never, ever, ever allow the wild woman to truly come out. And I want you to really feel this. This is why I love for you to be fully present and really hear what I'm about to share with you right now. So write yes in the comments if you're giving yourself full permission to be and live the life you know you're meant to live. So we don't need, here's the thing, we don't need more hardworking women who are operating from struggle, pushing, forcing things to happen because they don't trust themselves or others. They're putting so much pressure on themselves. They're exhausted, feeling obligated, apologetic, wrong, guilty. No more. No more. If you know what I'm talking about, write in the comments again. No more. No more of this. This is silly making. We women who are so tuned in within, connected, and turned on, women who feel confident. This is what we need. We need more women who feel confident and juicy and excited about their lives, right? Abundant, full of joy and love, and deeply connected with our desires, being creative and expressive and spontaneous, and at the same time grounded, committed, owning our right to abundance and being unapologetic about who we are, right? This woman is that woman who walks into a room and everyone is mesmerized, wondering what happened, as they feel so drawn to her and no one saw her coming, right? The good news is that this woman is already in you. It's already in you. And now the time has come to set her free. So before our good girl can interfere saying things like, oh, this is only for others but not for me, I want you to stop her right there. And I'm going to invite you to allow yourself to feel this energy for a moment. She is within you. This woman is within you. This amazing, open, full of life woman is within you. Stop denying her. Feel her. Feel her deeply. She's there. I told you this masterclass was going to be powerful, didn't I? So let's do this, ladies. Let's do this, and let me see this in the comments below. Wow, what I'm about to share is going to blow your mind and open your heart in amazing ways. Amazing. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So here's the key. Here's what's been going on. Okay. Most of us are stuck in this disempowered cycle. What does that mean? So the good girl learned to be good. She learned that she needed to be good and do everything right in order to be loved, belong, and be accepted by others. So what she does, and the good girl has love for others. Everything about the good girl is based on her environment and other people. This is what you need to know about your good girl. So the good girl, it's always doing and being for everybody and giving and giving and giving. But remember what happened when she was giving and giving and giving and she doesn't receive? She falls into overcompensating and overgiving. Maybe if I try harder, maybe if I do better. And that's when the victim gets activated. Remember we talked about that, right? And now you can't say no because you're afraid that others are not going to love you. Or then you feel like if you say no, clients are not going to sign up. If you put your prices, you feel like people are not going to love you and they're not going to want to work with you, right? All that stuff. You know the drill. And now your victim gets activated. And now from this place, you're charging less, you're putting sales out there, and you're wanting, you're charging your prices in your business. You're not making right decisions in your business because you're making decisions out of fear, right? And then you get pissed because you're not making the money you want, you're not having the clients, and you're working like crazy and nothing is working, and you get really frustrated and your bitch comes out and you get snappy and you get really hard on yourself. You put even more pressure on yourself. I mean, tell me if this not like is driving you nuts right now just from hearing this. So you fall, and so what happened is that you say, you know what? The good girl takes over again because she's resilient, right? She says, okay, I'm gonna figure it out. So she goes again, but she will continue to fall into the disempowered cycle. She will continue to fall if she's not aligned with her wild woman. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm shaking my head. Yes. Yes. It's crazy making. I know. So this is a cycle of fear, worry, scarcity, struggle, feeling unseen, unloved, invisible, closed off. I'm telling you, ladies, the reason why I created this, because I was there. I know what it feels like. I felt like I was a crazy woman. Like going from good girl to victim to bitch, sometimes even within minutes. And I couldn't get out of this crazy cycle. But here's the sad part. That a lot of us will get trapped into this vicious survival cycle. And this is very dangerous for us women. Okay? Sadly, this is where we learn to operate, and most of us spend most of our lives here. And there's no shame around this here, I promise. There's no shame, okay? Without even knowing, which is the crazy part. These were the examples that we received from the feminine, and we think this is normal. Does that make sense? That, like, doesn't it even blow your mind, like that emoji? So we go from victim to bitch, like a pendulum swing, feeling guilty and trapped and not good enough and exhausted and drained and playing small and living in deprivation. And then the bitch comes out to save the day, and we explode like a volcano in anger, and we go into feeling guilty, and our victim gets activated again, and we feel trapped in our heads, unsafe. We can't trust ourselves. We can't trust others. We push people away, and then we feel bad, and we go back to overcompensating and feeling alone and disappointed. I mean, I'm telling you, it doesn't end. It never ends. So from this place, we get stuck either in punishing ourselves for all the mistakes we made, proving our worth or feeling unworthy, putting so much pressure on ourselves, and we get stuck in resentment, resisting change or people to come in and help us, relentless, stressed, anxious, and trying to find the answer to on our own, find the answers on our own because we can't really trust. Now, in a very humbling act, I'm going to ask you if this resonates with you, if you find yourself sometimes getting stuck. But again, I know that if you're here, you have a really powerful good girl, and your good girl will always try to find a different way. Well, this is why you're here, okay? So you don't need to doubt yourself. Now, let's talk about the best part here. Who is your wild woman? Because the reason why your good girl is falling out in the survival cycle is because she doesn't have her wild woman with her, okay? And the wild woman is the most sacred part of you. She's the one that holds the torch for your feminine power and right to abundance. She's the part of you who knows and is deeply connected with your desires. She's the one that feels the hunger of your soul. And she knows the life you know you're meant to live and constantly calls you to live your highest destiny. So can you recognize her now? Have you heard her lately? The wild woman is the one that brought you here too. Okay? And your wild woman is fierce, and she takes a stand for your femininity because she knows her power, a power that comes from your womb. All right? And from this most sacred place within. This is the power that creates life. That's your ultimate power. You are nature. Within you, there lives the potential for life every single month. This power that creates worlds lies within you. Your intuition, your instincts are all guiding systems that allow you to find your way and live your truth. But when we buy into a culture that tells us that we need to work so hard for what we want, that we're not enough, that women need to make less money than men, that we need to be perfect, have the perfect freaking body, the big boobs, the nice ass, perfect white teeth, perfect hair, in order to be worthy or powerful, then we disconnect from this power. We learn that our wild woman is a threat, that she's dangerous and inconvenient for society, that we would end up alone if we let her out, if we share our truth. And remember, the good girl's biggest fear is to end up alone. So she will put up our wild woman in the back closet and never let her out, because she learned that if she let her out, there will be big consequences. So perhaps you experience in your personal life, you've been told that you were too much since you were little, or you had a bad experience when your wild woman came out at some point in your life. Perhaps you experienced abuse, sexual, emotional. And let me tell you something, these empowered people don't know what to do with power of the wild woman. So they'll try to dominate her, sometimes at all costs. And when we do that, when we don't have this power honed, the power of the wild woman honed within us, we can become prey. Do you hear this? This is big, huge. And no, this is no joke. This is why we need to own the power of our wild woman, and why I know you were called to be on this training today. So perhaps you were abandoned and judged because others felt intimidated around you when your wild woman came out, and you put her in the back closet. I experienced all of it, sadly. Okay? We trained ourselves to keep our wild woman at bay. We hide her, and what we didn't realize is that by doing this, we block ourselves from our joy, our feelings, our pleasure, and the power to manifest our deepest desires. And life becomes, when we do that, becomes constantly giving our power away to others, looking outside of ourselves for validation, approval, and feeling worthy. This is what happens when the good girl is disconnected from the wild woman. And I say this needs to end. And I'm freaking serious. I'm freaking serious. I know one thing for sure, without you telling me, you secretly crave her, probably almost every day. And the truth is that you have no idea how to let her out or how to keep her out. Perhaps she came out, some of you did my challenge and you felt, but keeping her out, it's something big, because the moment someone comes in and tells you something, or the moment someone really close to you says something, it's going to trigger your good girl, and your good girl is going to grab your wild woman and snap her back into the back closet. And I tell you, because I've done that over and over and over. Okay? So here's why I love the wild woman so much, because she's married to truth. And this is why she was made wrong, because like I said, truth is inconvenient for society. Your wild woman is strong, and she won't stop calling you to live your highest destiny. She's relentless. She might come down for a while, but she will never stop calling you. And I promise, she needs you to take a stand for yourself and free her. This is why she brought you here. When we ignore the calling is when we fall into the vicious survival cycle, and life goes to hell, women. And sadly, most of us lost touch with our wild woman. Okay? We believe the lies and that she's dangerous, and we don't know how to get back home. We also have a hard time answering because you don't know how to answer the calling. What does it look like? What would happen if I do, right? Do you feel that way? We never learned how. Our wild woman was trained out of us since an early age. This is not to blame anyone. Our mothers and grandmothers, they didn't know any better. This power of your wild woman will scare you. I promise, because it's been oppressed for centuries. And it's only when we heal the feminine wound that our good girl can reclaim her power back. Okay? Feel that? And now we're at a point in history, ladies, where she needs to come out. You know that. You know that. That's why you're here. If we want to realize our desires, if we want to live the life that you know you're meant to live, if you want to live your purpose and create abundance of love, money, joy for yourself and everyone around you, if you want the world to change, if you want the planet to survive, if you want children to be fed and people to live in decent ways, the wild woman needs to be out and stay out. Not just a little splurge every so often. Does that make sense? Now, I know that some women are already contributing and they donate money to time and causes that makes us feel good, right? And that makes sense, right? It's powerful. We're doing that. But if we don't change, I know, this is the same with women who go out to Congress and we have our voice and claim our rights. Of course, it's powerful and I bow to that. But if we don't change that from within and awaken our wild woman, our feminine power, if we don't heal the masculine wounds, in a way, we're still contributing to the scarcity and sacrifice cycle. Tell me if you really understand that. But here's the thing. We're not meant to live in scarcity or sacrifice. We give birth to life, women. We need to understand this. We really do. It's not our nature. It's not our nature to live in scarcity. It's our essence to live in abundance of everything. Look how much abundance there is in nature. You are nature. You're a magical creator. And everything you desire is available to you. And in order for you to fully embrace and own that, you must let go of the lies, the cultural conditioning that are holding you back and keeping you stuck. Now, let me share with you a story of this amazing woman, my client Katie, who once realized this and her whole world opened up. But before I do that, I'd like to offer you an opportunity. I want to read what you're saying before I even go there. Hold on. Wow, ladies. Wow. You are blowing my mind right now. I love this. All of your answers. I'm just taking a second to breathe it in. Whew. So before I share Katie's story and before I continue to share a little juicy part that I have prepared for you, I'd like to offer you an opportunity to deepen your relationship with your wild woman so you can uncover how to tap into your true feminine power on a regular basis and create the life you know you're meant to live. My team is posting a link right now to get you on a private call with me for free. My gift to you. But listen up. These calls are very sacred. And I want you to be really honest with yourself here. On this call, I'd love to learn where you are with your wild woman journey right now, okay? And what you desire to create for your life and your business moving forward. I'm also going to offer you a very unique opportunity to take your wild woman journey to the next level, because this is not a journey that you can do on your own, in case you didn't realize yet. And I want to be super clear and fierce about this. Doing it alone doesn't work. You will have to be willing to invest emotionally, financially, and spiritually too. Okay? And if you're feeling the butterflies from everything that I just shared with you, and even if you feel fear too, then book your call with me, and it will be my absolute honor to meet you and talk to you. I'm doing it now before I continue, because there's so many of you here on the line. I'm really, if you're moved by understanding the importance of awakening your wild woman at this level, and you're super ready to do whatever it takes to do that, then I really would love to encourage you to book your call with me right now. All right, it's gonna blow your mind and open your heart. Your wild woman will be ignited forever. This call is for women who are totally ready to experience deep transformation and are willing to do the work. You hear that? Willing to do the work, and you're ready for this transformation. So the sign that you're ready is that your body right now is tingling now with everything that you got, and because of everything that I share, you feel your blood boiling with this fierce yes inside, and at the same time you feel this calm, like you're in the right place. Like, of course, why wouldn't I? This sense of hope and trust within you that goes beyond your rational mind. Okay, so I really, I have very limited spaces, and there's so many of you, so book your call. If you're ready to take your wild woman journey to the next level and you're willing to do what it takes, this is the opportunity. Click on the link on the chat box right now, and let's get on the phone. I open my calendar for you. And now I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. So don't wait. So many of us women continue to stay stuck in wishful thinking. You know the drill, feeling like, like we're ready, but we're not really taking action. And we forget that even if it's not perfect, we must take action to receive what we want, right? That's the wild woman energy right there. So darling, it's time for you to allow yourself to feel the joy that comes from within when you awaken your wild woman, to feel that sense of trust, that direction, that you're in charge. You feel alive, you're magnetic, and people smile at you everywhere you go. They open the doors and they pay for your coffee just because, and you feel on top of the world. You feel confident and daring and unstoppable, and you feel so full of love and so abundant that you give with you give and receive from this pleasure, and it comes to you and it never ends. It's a positive cycle. Okay, it's like the universe is playing this magical symphony on your name. You experience magic and miracles on a regular basis, and you are creative. This is again something that no one really talks about. You're creative in these fabulous and ingenious ideas, like excuse me, like the archetypes come to you out of nowhere. This is what I call the downloads, right? And opportunities and clients reach out wanting to work with you with very little effort on your part. You're going to love Katie's story for that. And the fear of money disappears. You don't question your worth anymore or your ability to make money. Money comes because you're in alignment with your truth. And there's a sense of that inner trust, a sense of this inner process that you don't have to work hard anymore. You finally learned to allow it. And this is what's available to you. And I really, truly desire that you live this life. I really want this for you. So click on the link to book your call. And I love to share this powerful journey and how we can continue to do it together. Okay? So let me share. How is this sounding to you? Can't find the link. The link is on the top, darling. The link is on the top. So, all right. So my client, Katie, for years, she's been pushing in her business and following strategies that really didn't fully resonate with her, where she ended up disappointed, exhausted, and not receiving the results she was working so hard for. One of the biggest pieces that we worked on with her when she joined my program was to connect back to her feminine essence, of course, her wild woman. Not only did she find her soulmate, by the way, and last year they got married, she also completely shifted the way she runs her business today. Not too long ago, she was ready to work with more clients and felt felt that she liked to launch something new, but she didn't know what it was. And then she found out that she had to have foot surgery. Now she was really upset and disappointed because she couldn't even move from her couch. How was she even going to be able to put the energy into her business, right? On our group call, one of our group calls, I suggested that she practice surrendering, trusting, allowing, receiving, okay? And listening to her wild woman. After a few days of resisting, but she did it, she felt inspired and she ended up writing this post in social media that led her to attracting the most amazing clients and filling up her new group program with ease. She additional business also came out of the blue, and she made $30,000 in sales, resulting with ease and without moving herself from the couch. How amazing is this? How amazing is this? Okay. Now, also my client Hannah, for years, Hannah has been stuck in scarcity mentality, working really hard, making very little money, pushing her body to the ground, and she was suffering from a chronic disease with low to no energy. How many of you feel that way? This cycle kept her small and trapped in her head, trying to figure everything out from there, right? And getting nowhere. She kept trying, reading all the books, signing for all the free online classes that she could find to help her with her business, but the results were not happening. She finally realized that something needed to really change and at the core. And this is when she decided to invest in herself and receive the support that she really needed. This is when she joined my Wild Woman program. We soon discovered that she was really struggling with self-worth and lacking confidence in herself. So how is she gonna put her business out there? This was affecting her self-esteem and her ability to grow her business. She was also stuck in her masculine, needing to have all the answers, and she was disconnected from her intuition. Okay. After our first call, I invited her to raise her prices, and she hasn't changed 4 years. She lives in a small town. So she thought, oh my gosh, everyone knows me. I can't do that. And she thought she was going to lose clients, but to her surprise, she started to have more clients and making even more money from the start. She learned to value herself, and it showed. And now she's ready to take her business to the next level, and she's about to launch her confidence coaching business. All right, ladies. So this is not just for others and not for you. Okay, this is for you too. This is for everyone who really allows the wild woman to come out. You really, yeah, Kimberly, I know, Kim, you really saw, you saw Hannah. So let's recap a little bit, okay? We talked about the archetypes. We talked about the empowered feminine, the disempowered feminine. Does that make sense? Yeah? Then we talked about the disempowered feminine cycle and how it's so easy to get stuck in this worry, scarcity, struggle, feeling unseen and unloved and invisible and closed off, the good girl, victim, bitch cycle that never ends. Yes. And then we talked about the vicious survival cycle, the sacrifice, the scarcity, victim bitch energy. We get stuck in punishing, proving, pressure, or resisting resentment and restlessness. And ladies, if you're feeling right now like there's a lot of emotions coming up for you because you're really waking up to this, I want you to be really loving to yourself. And I want you to honor yourself because this is huge. This is huge. And everybody else who's here, I want you to be here for you too. I want you to receive this message. I'm going to read the comments in a minute, okay? Here is what really happens, okay? What breaks the cycle is to integrate in and to awaken the wild woman, to integrate her with your good girl, like I was sharing before. So now all these, the cycle of closed off and fear and scarcity and sacrifice, it's no longer available because you're now creating this relationship with your good girl and your wild woman. So now you feel confident, you feel open to love and joy and abundance, right? This is where you feel infinite possibilities are available for you. You feel that there's growth, then there's next levels, and that there is a flow. This is the beauty of this. This is the beauty. Now, why do we need the wild woman in your business? Okay, why do you need your wild woman in your business? Because you're in charge of your business and you're clear on your vision and your message. You're not doubting, right? You feel confident and charging your worth for your services. You powerfully lead your team and inspire them to fulfill your vision. You ask for what you want in an assertive and loving way. You have healthy relationship with money. You manifest and receive abundantly. You create a business that brings you joy, laughter, and that has you live on purpose and continues and contributes to the world in a positive way. You command presence. You show yourself to the world with that confidence and that power and that grace, right? That while you're setting healthy boundaries and loving boundaries, you know your boundaries. So you don't have to prove anything and you don't have to defend yourself. Does that make sense? Yes? And here's what happens when your good girl, right, without your good girl, your wild woman, your good girl ends up running your business. This is what happened. I share my story. And what happens is that if your good girl runs your business, you will hold back from sharing your message for fear of being judged. You will doubt and compare yourself to others, and you would get stuck and be in self-sabotage. You would give your services for free and charge less than your worth. You'll struggle with money and you have a hard time attracting and working with ideal clients. You work really hard for what you want and think that the only way to make it is by hustling and pushing and overworking. You end up burnout, broke, exhausted, sick, and disconnected. You'll have no time to spend with your loved ones and your relationships will suffer. You will feel unfulfilled and alone. You won't enjoy your business. You'll even resent it and you'll question and wonder, why are you even doing this? Am I making the right choice? Yes? Do you feel that? So this is big. This is why we need the wild woman. Okay, this is why, and I cannot stress this enough. So when our good girl and our wild woman are in balance, we experience the natural flow of giving and receiving with ease, grace, and joy. And in order to become an empowered woman, I tell you in a minute why you need to become an empowered woman. You need both. You need your good girl and your wild woman. And they need to be in alignment. Why? Because the good girl is the giver and the wild woman is the receiver. If your wild woman is not activated, your good girl will fall out of balance because you will give and not receive, right? I explained that before. It's very important that you remember this. This leads us to fall into the vicious survival cycle, the victim and the bitch, or both. Remember? So the secret to the secret is to awaken your wild woman and something beautiful happens. When your wild woman and your good girl are in balance, there's flow in your life. There's a synergy that happens where you experience ease and joy and happiness, and there's an ever flow. Right? It's like that infinity symbol that you see in this graphic. That is the point where you become an empowered woman. In the middle is that connection. If you don't heal your good girl, she will never, ever allow your wild woman to come out. And I don't want you to kid yourself with that. This is probably why you read all the books, took all the seminars, did all the affirmations, you worked on your mindset, and even though you probably experienced certain change at the core, it's not fully shifted, and you still end up trapped in the disempowered cycle most times, right? Why? Because your good girl is so powerful and she's been conditioned most of your life. You've lived from your good girl most of your life, right? So undoing and transforming this will require deep healing work, deep love, and feminine work. I'm telling you, in order for your good girl to heal, she needs to feel safe, which again, it might be why you still feel that something's missing in your life. Does that make sense? She needs to know the how. This is why after the 10 years in that cabin in Maine, when I literally cracked the code on how to access my own feminine power, when the archetypes were born, my whole life changed forever. And I'm not saying I don't fall into the disempowered cycle, ladies, because I am not perfect, but I get out like this. Now I know exactly why and what I need. Remember what I was sharing about the archetypes. So the good news is about the good girl and why I love her so much is because she rarely gives up. She is super smart and super resourceful, and all she needs to do is to learn how to freaking do it, right? This is why together your good girl and war woman are such powerful and unstoppable force. That's what it is together. And here's what happened, ladies. Here's what happened. Carrie, I feel like this is the key that I need to help open my blocks in my life. Oh my God. So listen up, because this is going to be huge. Okay. You know, I'm from Argentina, and this is why when I really realized this about tango, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, right? Why? Because when you look at tango, isn't the most beautiful dance ever? I mean, not because I'm from Argentina, right? Give me a break. But can you tell? Like, you can feel the passion and the synergy and the sensuality, and there's that connection. When you take tango classes, what you know is that you always need to be connected from the heart. So when you're doing this in tango with the men, you always are connected with from the heart, which it would be the good girl, because the home of the good girl is the heart. Okay. Now, another thing that happens is that the tanguera, which is the woman that dances tango, she needs to be very aligned. Like, you need to be honing your power. You need to know where your body is. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to be fully present and fully aware of yourself. If not, you cannot dance the tango. I'm serious, because the men cannot lead you. So think about it. Think about it for a moment. In fact, it's so fun, because when you go to these tango places, they're called milongas. When the man invites the woman to join him in the dance, if the woman says yes, she stands up and walks right into the middle of the dance floor. Do you get the memo there? She does, and she walks with grace. She doesn't have to prove herself, but she shows that she is fully and actively participant in that relationship. She's not coming and waiting to be rescued, okay? She's fully present and she's fully empowered. She's an empowered woman. Now, if she's not in her feminine, she would not allow herself to be led by the masculine. This is what happens. And this is what I want you to really think about. And again, you're going to feel that emoji in your head of your brain blowing up, because business, money, and men, of course, are all masculine energy. So if you are not in your feminine energy, you're going to be in your masculine. Or if you're not in your empowered feminine, you're going to be like, oh, please rescue me. Neither of them work for the masculine. You cannot dance the tango. Does that make sense? You cannot flow. And when you create, that's why the first thing that you need to do, like I was sharing before, is that needs to happen within you. So then you are this empowered woman who meets the masculine in the middle of the dance floor. And this is when you can dance the tango of life with the masculine, because the tanguera, the woman who dances tango, she's not afraid of men. She's not afraid to receive money. She's not afraid to be led and being her feminine. I mean, look at these pictures. Can you feel the energy that she's afraid? No, she's confident and she receives the men, because receiving is a feminine energy. So if we're not allowing ourselves to receive, we're denying our feminine nature. Do you hear that? Can you feel this? All right. I want to see that yes in the comments. All right. Yes. Okay, good. Are we still here? Awesome. Wow, so many of you are still here. I'm in this vortex, as you can imagine. Like, oh my God, like I'm so super freaking excited to be sharing this with you. So here's the good news. In this tango, let's go back to the tango for a minute, because I've personally love this analogy of tango, and it's just super powerful, ladies. We need to learn to dance the tango. I'm telling you, okay? When the good girl is seen, heard, loved, and accepted for who she is, she heals. All right? And she then allows the wild woman to come out to play a bigger game in the world. Okay? If you're where I was, pretending that everything's fine, or wearing that mask that shows to the world that you got it, that you have it all together, but deep inside you're feeling that sense of emptiness and alone, and you're pretty exhausted, and you crave to be loved and accepted for who you are, because let me tell you, when you connect with your wild woman, you're going to crave a man's love. And for a lot of women who are defensive and they don't have their men relationship healed within, the masculine relationship, they won't allow themselves to feel that craving of a man's love. Also, in the business, if you're closed off, you won't allow yourself to receive money. Or if you don't feel worthy, or if you feel like others have and you don't, and you feel guilty for receiving money, this is what happened to me. I mean, my dad, this is one of the things that I had to work within myself. My dad actually went bankrupt in business. So when I was building my business, what happened is that I realized that I was stopping myself from growing because two things, and this is very good, girl. I want you to pay attention. The first thing is that sense of loyalty that has the good girl has, I didn't want to outshine my dad. I didn't want my dad to feel bad. This is crazy making. And I also was afraid that it was going to happen to me. So I had to heal all that. I had to clear all that out. And then another thing that happened is that in my business, at the beginning, I started to make more money than my husband. And this was huge because I started to feel guilty. And I stopped myself from making money. I remember I would sabotage, like I would forget to book, when someone booked a call, I forgot, I missed the time. I mean, horror movie here. It wasn't good. And then after digging and with the help of my mentors, I realized that I was doing that I was sabotaging because I didn't want my husband to feel less than a man. This is so ingrained, and this is why we need to heal this, ladies. This is why I'm so passionate about this work. Does that make sense? So if you're like where I was too, trying to do everything on your own, and you have a hard time asking for help because you don't trust others, that others will be there for you, probably because they've never been there really for you, then, or if you're frustrated because the things that you most desire are taking forever to manifest, even though you're trying everything and it's not happening, then I get it. This means that you're trapped in your good girl. And yes, your good girl is in your head. Your good girl has been living in your head because of fear. And she needs to come back to the heart. Hear me out. The real home. Because you learn to disconnect from your truth, your wild woman, your good girl doesn't feel safe to be in your heart. And this is why it's so hard to connect with our love, with ourselves and others. All right. So I'm really excited to share something that I prepared for you and that I know it will completely transform your life. And like Katie and the other Katie and then Hannah, hundreds of women around the world have done this work with me, and it allowed them to allow their wild woman to come out and create their most unapologetic business and life. All right. So let me share with you this amazing, amazing opportunity. It's the Wild Woman Immersion Program, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. I want you to know that I created this Wild Woman program, immersion program, which is a beautiful and powerful 3-month journey back home to you. And I like to share the essence of the program. We're going to do this very quick. So I'm going to show you the 6-step process with you right now, because I don't really know anybody in this industry that is actually doing this work of femininity and power in this way. Okay. And these are the exact steps that all of my clients have followed. It's very effective, and it has produced miraculous results with women just like you all over the world. So I think that it will be good time for me to give you this and to share this with you. So here we are on this 3-month journey, which is very symbolic, by the way, because it's all about tuning in with the cycles, right? Your feminine cycles, the summer, the spring, the seasons. And for this 3 months, you'll have a training once a week and a Q&A call once a week. So every other week you'll have a training and a Q&A. And this way, it's not about gathering information, but about feeling, because the good girl has a lot of information, ladies. She needs to bring it home, okay? She needs to feel it, experience it, receiving and embodying these teachings. And this is what we're going to be doing in this program. This is all about being more, not doing more. And of course, you'll have workbooks to follow the teachings with practical exercises, rituals, and teachings that will allow you to apply it in your everyday life. Okay. So the steps of these programs are in the module 1. We are going to create your Wild Woman Foundation. Yes, it goes deeper than the Power of Receiving course for sure. No, this is not the same, Dorina. It's a deeper program. On this training, we're going to create your Wild Woman Foundation. In this training, we'll release the old ideas of femininity that have been stopping your good girl from allowing your wild woman to come out. And I'll guide you through a powerful activation visualization that is going to blow your mind and open your heart and your womb. And oh my gosh, and you'll experience what it fully feels like to have your wild woman fully awakened and activated. All right. So be prepared to be amazed and meet your wild woman face to face. I know some women who did my challenge that really felt like they weren't able to connect. This is it. Okay. This is it. All right. So the wild woman, the module 2, it's all about you. Yeah, of course, the power receiving course is amazing. Sandy says, your energy seems endless. Well, this is what happens, ladies. Like it feeds itself. It doesn't, I don't waste my energy. I learn. This is what you're going to learn in this program right about now. On this training, it's all about you. Module 2 is all about you. You learn how to connect with the 4 pillars of your wild woman. No one's teaching you this. Without these pillars being aligned, you won't be able to sustain your wild woman for a long time before your good girl puts her back in the closet. Remember we talked about that? Cultivating these pillars will allow your good girl to gain the trust she needs and allow the wild woman to run free. Okay, so you receive everything you need to know to start feeling like yourself again, energized, revitalized, and people can't help but notice that something's really different about you, and they can't pinpoint what it is. That's exactly the power of your Wow Woman. Do you know what I'm talking about? All right. So on module 3, the journey into the dark, your Wow Woman has felt trapped, unexpressed, and suffocated, most likely because you haven't given full voice to your pain. In this module, we're going to explore the dark pieces that we've been brushing under the rug, and bring them to light so they can be seen, healed, and reclaimed. You will reconnect with your good girl and find love through forgiveness. And acceptance, by the way. You'll finally let go of the shame, the anger, the shoulds, and the need to prove yourself. After this healing, you'll be free to let go of the masks that you've been wearing to please others, so you can fully express who you truly are without fear of being punished, judged, or criticized. This is a big module, okay? My Wild Woman is a vessel of greatness, energized by God. Yeah, the Wild Woman is the one that's connected to God, universe, whatever you want to call it. So, anyway, module 4, I just want to read. I'm so tempted to read everything here. Reclaiming your Wild Woman confidence. In this training, this is the module 4, and this training is gonna bring everything together. In this training, you'll learn how to embrace your Wild Woman power, so you can begin to express your authentic voice and start honoring who you truly are without the need for permission or approval. With the specific tools and techniques that I'll share with you, you'll feel absolutely confident to communicate and express your truth, set boundaries in an empowered, loving way. You'll feel like a whole new woman who's not afraid to shine and take space in the world. Does that make sense? All right, darlings. I'm so grateful that you're still here with me. I love it. I love it. I love it. Module 5, your Wild Woman and Men. All right. Here's where everything is going to start shifting for you. You're going to learn to dance with the masculine in an empowering, graceful way. And this training will uncover the ways you've subconsciously or consciously have been blocking love and intimacy in your life, how to heal the old and painful wounds that have kept you from feeling safe to open your heart and finally feel fully free and available to receive your soulmate and create deeper intimacy and joy in your current relationship. Okay, module 6 we'll talk about money and manifest money like a wild woman. Yes, Carrie. Yes. I'm so glad she signed up for the program, for the Wild Woman program. Money is just any other kind of energy. If we put up blocks, a wall, it cannot find its way through in our lives, right? So in this training, we'll do a Wild Woman money activation so you can become a magnet to attract everything you desire and step into your money manifesting in magnetic power, where you will feel comfortable in receiving the income you deserve and welcoming money energy with ease and joy without the guilt into your life. All right? Awesome. Yes, Sharon. Yes, it's possible. So I also have a bonus as part of this program. You also receive the power receiving bonus, which a lot of women were talking about this. And this is, my gosh, this is an amazing, this is like the law of attraction, broke it down and explained. It helps your good girls so much, and it'll always start making sense. Those of you who have done it, you know. Yes. If you get on a call with me, Ash, we can talk about that. So get on a call with me. I've been wanting to talk to you, and let's do this. Okay? Absolutely. And Sharon as well. I'm telling you, there's no, without exception, when a woman is ready to work with me, even if you feel like money is not available, money shows up. So let's get moving because we start next week. So let's do this, okay? This program starts next week, by the way. And the other amazing training that I have prepared is Manifest Money, Manifest the Man of Your Dreams Masterclass. And again, this is learn how to become an empowered woman that attracts an empowered partner. This live training will show you, and this is super fun, we're going to do it as a group. This live training will show you ways that you're blocking love in your life, how to push through those blocks and finally manifest your soulmate and create deeper intimacy and joy in your current relationship. So this isn't your typical dating advice. This is about doing the inner work first before you can call that beautiful man into your life. And I know some of you here have that going on. I've been filling out the information. Oh my gosh, Sharon, I can't wait to talk to you. Yes, anyone who is available, hurry up. I want to show you because here's what happens. Here's what happens when we listen to our wild woman. Nellie is passionate about health and veganism. I met Nellie when she was working hard on her business to take her business off the ground. She even left her corporate job to dedicate herself full time to make her health and coaching business work. Okay. When Nellie joined my Wild Woman program, the same one that I'm sharing with you, she was running out of her savings and her business still didn't take off. And this is why, women, I want you to really pay attention to this. Okay. Why I'm saying, like, when you're ready to do this work, the money and the resources come. And this is part of you trusting and connecting and starting already the Wild Woman work. So when Nellie joined my Wild Woman program, she was running, I said that already. On one of our coaching calls, she realized that she actually loved working in corporate, and she decided to be an entrepreneur because her boyfriend at the time had the belief that those who worked in corporate were losers. So listen up. This is the good girl. All right. The good girl will, if she's not connected with a wild woman, would allow others to influence her beliefs. All right. So this is what I also did when I was doing my business and I was doing everything right, but I wasn't connecting with myself. And so that's why it didn't resonate with me. So Nellie, it happened with her when she quit her job, and before starting the program, she got hit with a penalty of about 28 grand because she left her job before the contract. And then she lost, this relationship ended. It was hell because she wasn't listening to her wild woman. And once she did, things started to change. But what she really needed to realize, on one of our calls, I guided Nellie through a process that I do this with all my clients, and that allow her to make the decision and actually own the fact that she was not a loser for desiring to work for a company. So the very next day, ladies, because we opened this energy, she received different interview invitations, and one of them they offer her double of what she was making before. So Nellie now is thriving and even ready for her next promotion. The best part, she's now making 6 figures doing what she loves. Why not, right? Why not? Yes, right? Kim also saw that. So ladies, it's time to take your wild woman out of the back closet, right? Come on. Can we do that? I want you to imagine for a second. What would it mean to you if you knew that you no longer have to depend on other people's approval to go for your biggest dreams? Would it be worth exploring this program? What would it look like? What would it look like if you felt, would you be willing to give it a go if you felt free to express your authentic voice in your relationships online? If you were not afraid to be judged anymore, would it be worth it? If you feel so strong and confident in yourself that you can charge your worth in your business and become the leader who is strong and assertive, and you give because your heart is so full, and people receive so much and respect you as an expert in your field, right? Would it be worth for you to try and to explore this program? If you were able to fully trust others and drop the story that you always have to do everything on your own, and you feel so empowered that you can ask for what you want without holding back and actually receive it, would it be worth it? What would it feel like if you've been so truly connected and tuned in with your higher power and trust yourself so deeply, owning every decision you make? In this program, you're going to learn how to feel safe to express yourself in a way that's authentic to you, and to own your powerful voice in the world so you get out of hiding for good. Why would it be worth exploring this program? If you could feel at peace inside, where you're not at war with your body anymore, where you're not doubting yourself or your decisions any longer, where you feel that you don't have to play the victim or play small for others to accept you, and feel that others will be offended if your wild woman comes out and stays, right? Where you feel free, abundant, radiant, beautiful, and unstoppable, right? Would it be worth exploring this program? Write a yes in the comments. Write a yes. I invite you to have a call with me. All right, love, I love it. I invite you to have a call with me, no pressure. Let's explore this possibility together. Yes, you will have to do your part, right? And you will have to show up for the call. And again, this is for women who are committed and who are ready to invest, do whatever it takes to invest emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I'm not joking. This is deep work, ladies. But you'll be guided, and you'll have an amazing sisterhood to support you. Some of you are already here. This is going to transform your life. There's no price for that, right? So book your call and let's do this. Like, honestly, let's do whatever it takes to allow your wild woman to come out. All right? I love it. Yes, yes, yes. I love it, ladies. What a joy. What a pleasure to be with all of you here. Wow, my heart is so full. Like, seriously, I can't stop smiling from ear to ear. Book your call now, and I really look forward to meeting you and exploring this journey together. Thank you so, so much for joining me. Oh my God. Thank you for being here. It's been an honor to share this Wild Woman message with you. And I really trust that you will give yourself full permission, like we said at the beginning, to continue to explore and deepen this journey. This journey is beautiful and powerful and magical in every sense of the word. I love you so much. Yes, you're most welcome. I really look forward to supporting you on this journey, to guide you, and to really give you that sense of trust at the beginning, so then you can grab it, you can continue to move forward with ease, grace, and love. You're welcome, Jennifer. You're welcome, Carrie. Oh my God, Chacona, Danny. My pleasure, darlings. Thank you for being here with me. I really, truly appreciate it. I love your energy. This is what keeps me going. Sharon, yes, yes, yes. Pam, thank you for being here. Nadia, thank you for being here. I look forward to hearing from you. I don't even want to get off the call. This is so fun. All right. Mwah. So much love, darlings. I'll see you soon. Book your call. See you then.